Pray, pray, pray anytime. Pray when you're sad. Pray when you're glad. Pray when you're weak. Pray when you're strong. Just pray and pray, 'cause anytime is prayer time. Pray, pray, pray anytime. Pray when you're sad. Pray when you're glad. Pray when you're weak. Pray when you're strong. Just pray and pray, 'cause anytime is prayer time. Ooh.
The offices in heaven, they're opened up for you. Every second, every minute, and every hour. In case of an emergency, just dial the toll-free number and connect with the Father above.
Pray, pray,
my mother.
Pray anytime.
Just pray.
Pray when you're sad.
And pray.
Pray when you're glad.
Pray when you're weak.
Pray when you're
Pray
weak.
when you're strong.
Pray when you're strong. Just pray and pray, 'cause anytime is prayer time.
When you see that all your things are going well, you've got your wife and you keep a nice family, talk to God and thank Him in prayer. When you feel that your bones are still in place, you still can walk to and fro, talk to God and thank Him in prayer.
Pray, pray,
without ceasing.
Pray anytime.
Just pray.
Pray when you're sad.
Pray.
Pray when you're glad.
Pray when you're weak.
Pray when you're
Pray
weak.
when you're strong.
Pray when you're strong. Just pray and pray, 'cause anytime is prayer time.
Anytime is prayer time.
Pray, pray,
my Father.
Pray anytime.
Just pray.
Pray when you're sad.
Pray.
Pray when you're
Pray when you're weak.
Pray when you're
Pray
weak.
when you're strong.
Pray when you're strong. Just pray and pray, 'cause anytime is prayer time. Just pray and pray, 'cause anytime is prayer time. Just pray and pray, 'cause anytime is prayer time. Just pray and pray, 'cause anytime is prayer time. Just pray and pray, 'cause anytime is prayer time.
land. Now, hear me. We are no fools on the hills. My people are no fools on the hills. You must let my people go, so we can rule from Cape to Cairo. You must free my people's hands, so we can rule our purpose land. I wanna know who owns the land. Who wanna know who owns the land? Okay, now listen carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know who owns the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I say, we want to know who owns the land. I want to know who owns the land. Hustler. Hey, purpose land. Purpose land. Purpose land. It must be free.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to ABS Africa Broadcasting Service. I am your anchor man, Chris. I know always a privilege to come to you with what is happening, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen, in Ambazonia. Thank you for tuning in. Those of you joining all the way from ground zero, what we call ground zero, referring to the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, the territory bounded on the east by La République du Cameroon. Thank you for tuning in, and even all of you tuning in from La République du Cameroon, always a pleasure to have you tuning in. For those of you in the diaspora, of course, thank you too. From Asia, from Europe, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and of course, Canada included, then South America. Thank you all for tuning in today. It is a great day to be alive. So much to bring to you today. Ambazonia is very, very excited today as we wake up, ladies and gentlemen, to a new phase representing the Federal Republic of Ambazonia and the interim government of Ambazonia precisely. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you joining by way of the social media, I'd like you to go ahead as usual and hit your share button. Let us quickly populate the platform, get at least 1,000 ladies and gentlemen on this screen, Let me see. I see the numbers doing jumping to my liking. So those of you just joining, please go ahead, hit your share button in a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make it up to 1,000. In a few minutes. So please go ahead and let us quickly populate the platform. Let everybody out there know the anchor man is not live. The anchor man is alive right here on ABS. Coming to you from the great state of Texas, precisely Houston, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'm going to be bringing to you some information on some updates on the resignation of Dr. Emmanuel Tita, ladies and gentlemen. But most importantly, the nomination and election of Marianta as new president of the interim government of Ambazonia. We're going to also be talking about Samuel Sarko's standing up, continuous standing up to pretend as if he is still in charge, in spite of the fact that he has been impeached and removed, ladies and gentlemen, as president of Ambazonia. So we're going to be talking about this tonight, and I got some really stunning audios of Dr. Emmanuel Tita to bring to you now. This is very important because Dr. Tita is out there telling people that the Restoration Council presented lies. The Restoration Council impeached Dr. Samuel Ekome Sako out of sheer hatred that he saw no evidence. He was giving evidence and he thought it just wasn't enough. I really wish Dr. Tita had come out as a responsible person and said, you know what, I have a lot of pressure behind me from my family. I'm sorry, I cannot handle it. If he had done just this and walked away, I think he will deserve respect from many of us. But for him to walk away and then try to dump that cowardice on the Restoration Council is something we must prove him wrong by his own word. By his own word, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to be bringing you his own words, his own audios that he left out with us. And this is also important. I like to mention this, Dr. Tita, when on the social media firing up and demanding some $500 that he donated for ABS television. Ladies and gentlemen, you did not put money in my hands, Dr. Tita, and neither did I ask you for a dime. You did it on your own. I don't know if you were trying to persuade me for one thing or the other, but you did it on your own. So please, eat your own bones. All right? So ladies and gentlemen, please quickly hit your share button so much to bring to you tonight. And I don't want anybody to miss it. Let's get this to 1,000K. 1,000K. Get this to 1,000K. And I will come to you with this presentation proper. Ladies and gentlemen, I will also be joined with a powerful panel from the Restoration Council and from the cabinet of your interim government. So please hit that share button, and while you do so, let me quickly see who is joining here. Who is joining here? Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is very important. Something that I have learned over the weeks, over the days. Now, this is a strategy that La République du Cameroon is employing out there to set division and confusion amongst Ambazonians, especially when it comes to presentations, broadcasts like this one. This is their strategy. They will come to the platform like this one, ABS social media, Facebook platform, in live broadcasts like this one, and begin to comment. When they comment, they will be praising Sako, ladies and gentlemen. They will be praising Sako and praising La République du Cameroon. Most of them are La République du Cameroon agents, what they call black legs. We will not have them spill their emptiness on this platform. I have instructed those who monitor ABS Facebook platform to take them out immediately. Immediately they raise their ugly heads. So if you want to stay on the platform and enjoy it, just behave yourself. As I promise you, you will be taken out. We're not here to entertain black legs as you call yourself. We are here to serve Ambazonia. And the same thing, they will go to the other side. They will go to ABC and pretend as if they are coming from here and cause havoc over there, or doing the bidding for La République du Cameroon. So I want you to take note. And the same thing, they try to make phone calls in the course of shows like this to project their agenda. Of course, you can trust that I won't allow that to happen. We will only entertain those who come here behaving themselves. who come here behaving themselves, contributing constructively. I don't care, I don't mind if you differ with what we say, but you want to respond to it, be civilized, show some dignity in it and in your phone calls. All right. Let me see those of you who are joining. Ladies and gentlemen, I am doing this. I want you to hit that share button. Hit it to 1,000 in the next 4 minutes. It's over 500, going to 600. Please hit that share button. Hit that share button as you join. And let me see those of you who are joining. Nat, black legs with your ugly heads. You got it right, sir. Anye, I see you. I don't know what, I think it's a mom here. Thank you for joining. Ambazonia, watching our anchor man. I see Eric Guan. Thank you for joining. Afontanga Valentine, I see you. Vivienne, always. That is a video. Thank you, ma'am. David Nkengim, always here, of course. Chenwei Fokopsen, always here too. Hyson, HKF Junior, Anchorman, our president. Thank you, sir. I see also Prince Rene. Thank you for joining. Beta Isabella, AJ Succeed, always here. Unfortunately, AJ cannot. AJ, can you comment? Because I think he's one of those who complain he cannot comment. But I see you commenting. That is wonderful. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you cannot comment on the ABS Facebook, most people that, especially our own supporters that we know out there, nobody blocked you, nobody locked you out. It's just some Facebook thing that we just have not been able to figure out why some people who have not been blocked cannot comment. We are still trying to experiment to find that out. So please just stay put out there. We will get a solution for that. Meanwhile, please hit that share button. I see Mambo Pena. Okay, thank you for joining. Honorable Postmax, well done. That explanation is very important. All right, sir. I see also Margaret Tawani. All right, I see you. I see Bertrand Dayak baby. Okay, Mercy Joe, always here, and of course Princess Pamela Fomeyan, always here too. Thank you for joining. Romos Brown, always here too. Aqua Martin Ayon, I see you, sir. I see also Vanessa Paradise is almost favored. She's always here too. Asong Fonkem, thanks for joining. Ojonga Kabum, Michelle, one of those always here. Thank you for joining. Destiny, New Country. Say, please share. There you go. Thank you, sir. Molas. Hello, Secretary Chris. Thank you for standing tall with the suffering people of Southern Cameroon. We all have to stand tall, sir. Thank you for joining. Mark Powell, please, Secretary Chris, please don't fail because we stand by you. All right. Thank you, sir. Louis Mark, I see you. I say, even O.B. James can't comment. Even O.B. James can't comment. Sorry about that, sir. We're trying to see what we can do with that. All right. I see also Tabi Ebob. I cannot reply to messages. Unfortunately, sir, we will see if we can work out something. Edward Billy Blank, Secretary Chris, you are the man of this revolution. Okay, thank you, sir. Dora Ann is always here. Peter Taco Fondo, thank you, sir, for joining. I see also Ingwa Irene. Is it Ingwa Irene, the woman who is all over the place? I don't think she's the one. All right. Benche, always here. Fesa Ebako, I see you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please do me the favor, hit that share button as I come to you with what is making news in Ambazonia today. And let me start with this, ladies and gentlemen. The impeach and remove president, the impeach and remove president just continues to amaze every one of us, pretending he is still in charge and just not moved by anything that is going on around him. But I can assure you, remember he said last time, these days he doesn't go to bed, he doesn't sleep until after 3 a.m. After 3 a.m. And he is now holding meetings more than ever he has held in the past 4 years of his leadership of this interim government. Now he just continues to make believe, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this thing is a psychological game. He just keep on trying to remain very, very proactive, holding meetings here, holding meetings there, coming up on television, making audios himself, trying so hard to make believe he is still totally in charge. He has not been dented by any means, by any way. That is what he is trying to do. Now, as you find on your screen, he has now scheduled another fundraiser for tomorrow. Now he says he is conducting this fundraiser, ladies and gentlemen, for refugees. Great initiative, isn't it? Great initiative. The only problem is that this, you will think that he will go into lava storm 1, lava storm 2, lava storm 3, which took place only 2 weeks ago. Take out some of this money to take care of our refugees in Nigeria. No, he just want to, put out something that is noise making, so that he comes across to you and me as, still very much in charge, What I wonder, ladies and gentlemen, is who is giving him the money? Who wants to give Samuel a Komesako money, ladies and gentlemen? Who wants to give this guy a dime for anything at this moment, when for more than 2 years he has not given account for all the money he has collected from Ambazonians? He has not, in fact, alone. He borrowed some of the money. He literally went into the treasury and borrowed your money. Why can't you use some of that money to take care of refugees, fellow Ambazonians? Again, we are told that he is conducting a fundraiser tomorrow. A fundraiser. Now, we have not been told what he has done with the last fundraiser of 2 weeks ago called Lava Storm, or was it 3 weeks ago? But 3 weeks ago, he conducted Lava Storm number 3, one of those big fundraiser. You can imagine that's what they want us to believe, right? He did so. But 20th and 11th February took place in Ambazonia. He did these fundraisers, and the mountain race took place in his own backyard in Boya. This is a commander-in-chief, you want us to believe, who cannot even boast of his own local government. He doesn't have a constituency for us so far as this country, Ambazonia, is concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether those who surround him have ever asked him, Mr. President, as they call him, where is your constituency? Where is your constituency? Where is Tico local government? Tico local government has never been constituted. If it is constituted, show me the local government chairman. It doesn't exist. If a man cannot as much as take care, constitute his own constituency, how can he take care or constitute, ladies and gentlemen, run a country called Ambazonia? Of course he cannot. He just cannot. So that is the reason why we keep on telling you, Ambazonians, give no dime. Give no dime to anything that Samuel Ekomesako touches. He is dangerous with money. Very, very dangerous with money. And the biggest problem is that he never gives account until you force him. You force him. If I never force an audit of my trip to Boya, Samuel Ekomesako would never have agreed to any audit. Ladies and gentlemen, if I had not forced it, there would have been no audit. Because I'm telling you, there is now information out there. And I am really sorry. Let me apologize to all of you out there, ladies and gentlemen. Do not think that some of these things, I knew them when they were happening. Most of the things that I bring to you today are things that we have discovered in the last 2-3 months. Many of these things we did not know. For all the time we thought we had a great leader, a man of God, a child of God, a God-fearing person. But when you listen him going to Brazil and telling people that how he was dishing out churches, he was distributing his churches to his children, then if he doesn't come to you across as a con person, as a person, totally different from the person we thought he was, I don't know what you think about. I don't know what you think about. But all along we thought this was a good brother, a man of God. He turned out exactly the opposite of what he wanted us to believe, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why today I keep on telling you, no dime should go to somewhere Ekomesako. Let him go for an audit of the 2 drafts, the 20%, the president's draft, the president basket, the lava storms, the president's corner, every single fundraiser that he has made. He should go for an audit. He must go for an audit. I don't care whether he has been impeached or not, or removed or not, he is due an audit. And I've heard that they are out there planning some court cases. I can't wait to receive your court cases, because that is where the can of worms then gets really open, really open, ladies and gentlemen. But every Ambazonian must hold Samuel Ekomesako, this head of state, former head of state, Idi Amin, you find on your screen, every Ambazonian must hold him to account. We made a terrible mistake by having him ahead of this struggle for 4 years. 4 years. 4 years. And you con every one of us. Every one of us. Ladies and gentlemen, please, we ask you, do not give a dime, pay a dime to any cause that is championed by Samuel Ekomesako. This is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Now, having said so, I hope all of you get it out there. I really want to believe that you all get it out there, ladies and gentlemen. This man has been removed from power, and anybody who continues to patronize his illegalities is not Ambazonian, is not a patriot. They are certainly the business guys, the cryptocurrency guys who surround him would be the only ones who will continue to put money into his scam projects, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me now take you to one of the most important subject of these broadcasts, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you all are aware that at the beginning of this week, Dr. Emmanuel Tita NG was sworn in as third president of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Dr. Tita was sworn in Maryland. He flew in from Florida into Maryland. The swearing in took place. It wasn't up to 24 hours that he sent out a letter of resignation. He sent out a letter of resignation. In his letter of resignation, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Samuel Tita basically indicts the Restoration Council. He says he demanded for the evidence that led to the impeachment of Samuel Ekomesako, and the evidence that he was given just did not, according to him, prove anything. The evidence did not prove anything, he said. But he went further to add that, if anything, the evidence that the Restoration Council used in impeaching Samuel Ekomesako was born out of hatred and fabrications, pure lies, he said. Dr. Tita has also gone forward after my show of Monday. Was it Monday or Wednesday? My show, when is today? Today is Friday. After my show of Wednesday, to state that, ladies and gentlemen, he did not provide us with any evidence. He has said he did not provide us with any evidence, that we use in prosecuting the improprieties of Samuel Ekomesako. Dr. Tita is not only wrong, he is also now fabricating lies, and I mean real lies. And I am going to prove Dr. Tita very, very wrong, the kind of hypocrite that he is in this broadcast. And I wish he is watching this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Tita himself has spoken of the evidence that the Restoration Council provided, and even went as far as questioning why any Ambazonians should be demanding to see the evidence that the people's representatives have provided. He questioned any Ambazonians. That was when he was accepting the leadership of the interim government. He questioned, he basically told everybody he has seen the evidence, he has been shown the evidence, and nobody should question it. So, the very idea that Dr. Tita will now be running about, storming the social media with, they are lying, Chris Anu is lying, ladies and gentlemen. The only liar here is Dr. Tita. And I am going to show you some of the evidence. I stated on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, that Dr. Tita again provided us with some of the evidence with which we have used to prosecute, ladies and gentlemen, Samuel Ekomesako. But Tita came out and said, no, he has never provided any evidence. He did not provide yours truly with any evidence, he said. Now, I'd like you to watch this, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like you to watch this. This is the evidence coming from Dr. Tita. This is the evidence coming from Dr. Tita. Now, if you can check this on your screen, look at his name there, all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. These are messages sent to yours truly by Dr. Tita Emmanuel. Right here you can see. Great, please give me some time. Let's first get as many as possible of them. Then we can start classifying them in order. That is Tita writing. He is saying to me, please give me some time. I need to get many more of this evidence as much as possible. Then we will start classifying them. Now he is responding to me after I wrote to him and said, give me a little more insight to the businesses who belongs to which. Now, if you look at here, ladies and gentlemen, you can see some of the businesses in which Sako was investing. Sako was investing in these businesses, and Emmanuel Tita carefully sent the links of those businesses. Look at that. Look at that. He carefully sent the links, all these, ladies and gentlemen, to me as businesses in which Samuel Sako had investments. Again, he provided this. His name is right there. You can see Tita, Dr. Tita there with a link. You see Dr. Tita here with a link. Now, if you go back up here, ladies and gentlemen, now there is also this receipt that he provided. Where is it now? He provides a receipt here, ladies and gentlemen, that is coming from a requisition signed by Samuel Ekome Sako with some bank accounts in Nigeria. Again, this is the one. This is the one. You can see a copy of requisition. Again, this is coming from Dr. Tita. Provided yours truly, ladies and gentlemen, and I believe the Restoration Council also has this piece of evidence. Now, Dr. Tita is out there telling everybody, oh, he never provided any evidence to anybody against Dr. Sako. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see these are his names in these pieces of evidence. These are his name providing all this. You can see all of this coming from Tita Emmanuel. Now, in this case, he says this is the one that Prince Chinje, the chair for Santa local government area, who is in Texas, got Sako into a company, an investment company that Chinje, he says, Prince Chinje, who is the chair or who was the local chairman for Santa, got Sako involved. That is Tita writing there. Now he sends the link. Now he says here, he writes here, Coin Zoom, the first cryptocurrency that Chairman Francis Chinye introduced, and they got so many Southern Cameroonians put in their money into this scam. Tita is calling it a scam. Ladies and gentlemen, Tita knew it was a scam. He is the one providing this information. He says, Coin Zoom, the first cryptocurrency that Chairman Francis Chinye introduced, and they got so many Southern Cameroonians put in their money into the scam. And Francis Chinye then left and transferred all the funds into Bitcoin. And other Southern Cameroonians lost so much money as the value of CoinZoom dropped. Again, fellow Ambazonians, Tita cannot say anybody made this up. We don't come here and run our mouths without fact to what we're saying. So when Dr. Tita is out there running his mouth, he should know we have traces of everything that he has forwarded to us. Now, right here, he says, this is one of the stuffs they go around selling, calling Southern Cameroonians to buy them. This is one of the stuff they go around. Who? Sako and the rest, they go around selling. And what are they doing? They are calling Southern Cameroonians to invest in it. Then he writes here, this is one of the businesses as well. And he includes the link there, ladies and gentlemen. There is so much, just so much there that I can't even go into all. Everything you see here is communication between yours truly and Dr. Tita. This is another one where you reference Paul Nilong. Paul Nilong. He says, officially here are the names of the seven 7 Restoration Council members that will vote against impeachment. Because he was still with Sako, he was communicating with Sako, ladies and gentlemen, and then communicating, bringing the information to us. Look at all the information that Tita is forwarding. Look at that. He was the one forwarding the impeachment records from the Restoration Council to Ambazonians. Look at what he forwarded to me, ladies and gentlemen. But he is out there trying to get everyone to believe that he has been framed up. No, Dr. Tita has not been framed up. He actually framed up himself. He framed up himself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to sit still. Listen to Dr. Tita. Listen to Dr. Tita in his own words. Now, this clip was sent to me just this morning. The title there is Coward Tita. Coward Tita. I don't like that. I didn't write that. So please don't put it on me. I'm just playing it the way it came to me. But listen, please. Oh, I'm sorry.
Honorable Pastor Ginny, for giving me the floor to speak. Greetings, Honorable Chairman of the Restoration Council, the Vice Chair, Honorable members of the Restoration Council, my respect to you all. Cabinet members here present, members of government, county, LGA, countries, and regions, my respect to you all. All the defense rep that are present in this meeting today. When I cafe up, like with the talker, you guys are the one keeping the struggle going. We all agree that for the past 3 months, our revolution has been in turmoil. The leadership crisis we've been facing in this revolution has affected all of us significantly. Talk less of our brothers and sisters in ground zero. I am extremely grateful for the work the Restoration Council has done in an effort to bring in sanity to this revolution. We still have a lot of work to do. I strongly, really appreciate the work of the Restoration Council. And I must say that one thing I will clarify here is that because there's a perception out there that Dr. Sako is the interim government. No, he's not. No, he's not.
No, he is not.
So we need to get this really clear out. And I got some concerns from some fellow comrades about the decision that the Restoration Council made to impeach Dr. Sako and to remove him from office based on the allegations and evidence that they had on their table. Some people were concerned about not seeing those evidence. And I cleared it out, and I made me make it here and clear. The Restoration Council is working within its constitutionality, within its term of reference. So what does that mean? If our fellow comrades at the Restoration Council has sat down and looked into an issue and have made a decision that is good for the revolution, that is what is good for the revolution.
That is what is good for the revolution. If our colleagues of the Restoration Council have sat down and looked into an issue and look at the evidence and determine that is what is good for the revolution, so be it. That is Emmanuel Tita, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, he is out there saying, no, all the evidence, the impeachment and the removal was instigated by hatred, and everything they put out was fabricated. Now, he is making this statement only the day, I guess, after he was chosen president, having, I guess, seen the evidence, ladies and gentlemen. Now, continue. Listen to him.
So if the Restoration Council was to make a decision today about the struggle, that should be constitutional. But let me get back to the main point of today. Today, whatever decision we make today must be focused on resolving the problems that we have both in the diaspora and in ground zero. Within these past 3 months, the diaspora has been divided completely. They have blackmailed fellow comrades. A group of individuals have blackmailed fellow comrades that are volunteering their time for this revolution. Their names are all out there. They've been called all sorts of names. So whatever decision the Restoration Council makes, it should make sure that even though some of those allegations or those blackmailing that they have out there is false, we don't support any of those things that they're making, because that will only propagate and continue the divide. Let me tell you, this has been going on for 3 months.
Let me end it there, ladies and gentlemen, and then bring you yet another audio, another voice of Tita. Listen to this.
Thank you, Chairman Mars. Thank you for doing such an excellent job and for always being there for the Ambazonian people. Madam Vice President, Marianta and Joma, honorable members of the Restoration Council, Vice Chair of the Restoration Council, counties and LGAs here present, countries and regional representation here present, all members of government here present, our prisoners, our refugees that are all suffering, fellow stakeholders, I greet you all. Today, it's a new day and a new dawn for Ambazonia. There is hope for all of us to liberate homeland. I will sincerely thank the Restoration Council for making every effort to bring some sanity in this revolution.
You can hear that, ladies and gentlemen. I will sincerely thank the Restoration Council for bringing some sanity. And what does that mean? He is referring here to the impeachment and the removal of Samuel Ekomesako, whom he now claims was taken out of hatred with fabrications. That is him. Listen to him, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to Tita.
Brought this struggle down for the past 3 months. The Restoration Council has gone into work days and night, to make sure that try to find a solution to our problems. Today, we now have a new leadership in the Ambazonian at the interim government. We are sincerely grateful for the work the Restoration Council has done.
What do you make of that? What do you make of these constant appreciations of the Restoration Council? We are extremely thankful, appreciative of the work that the Restoration Council has done. So Tita says, listen to it. Let's move on. Listen to him.
Guys, on behalf of the people of Ambazonia, the problems we've been facing for the past couple of days, but for the past couple of months. But not only that, the mailing and sabotage that they've carried out on fellow comrades, like Honorable Vice President Dr. Harrison Abongwa, that I hold at a very high esteem, and Chris Ano, Bishop John, that they've all been blackmailed.
No, that is Tita. That is Tita, somebody now apologizing for all the blackmail. He said they, that is including him, were all carrying out against former VP Abongwa, yours truly, Egiawan, and the rest. That is him apologizing in his own words. Listen to him.
For the Ambazonian people. But this is a new dawn. We have to work together collectively to make sure that we liberate homeland. There will be no dictatorship in Ambazonia. Our institutions will always do their job, and will always look forward to making sure that the things are done appropriately in the right way. Please, without really taking too much of your time, I'm begging on all our counties our counties and LGHS, all our countries and regions, all the stakeholders of this revolution for us to get back together and start building collectively so we can free homeland in the soonest time possible. On that, I would like to usher in our Vice President.
Calling on the county chairs and the LGA chairs to all quickly come back home and let us build homeland together. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the words of Dr. Tita Emmanuel. By himself, you judge for yourself. You judge for yourself. Now, after saying all of this, he flew in to Washington, D.C. last weekend for his inauguration, and it became a nightmare. I have never been embarrassed in my life going through what all of us who were there went through, ladies and gentlemen. It was a whole different manual Tita, a completely different manual Tita in Washington, D.C. at that inaugural. He came back the day after the inauguration, ladies and gentlemen, and put out a resignation letter in which he now indicted the Restoration Council, indicating that the evidence that the Restoration Council used to impeach and remove Samuel Ekomesako were all fabrications. But I have just played these tapes here so that all of you take a listen. He starts by saying that nobody, and I mean nobody, can challenge the Restoration Council for what they did on behalf of 8 million Ambazonians. Then, acting as a coward that he certainly is, ladies and gentlemen, he pulls back, and now every reason why he resigned as president of Ambazonia is because of the Restoration Council. He denies the evidence that he provided us, ladies and gentlemen, with which we prosecuted Sako Ekome Samuel. The evidence is out here. In Dr. Tita, there's nothing you can do about it. They are your own words, they are your own actions. Now, I am joined, ladies and gentlemen, by Dr. Atienjo. Dr. Atienjo was one of those in Washington, D.C. who actually picked up Dr. Tita from the airport on, was it Sunday or Saturday? Was it Sunday? On Sunday, last Sunday. He stated that, in fact, when I got there, he was the one who picked me up at the airport. The first thing he said to me was, I just picked up Dr. Tita. In Dr. Tita for almost 5 or 6 minutes, would not say a word, would not say a thing. He was shocked what had suddenly happened with Dr. Tita that he wouldn't say a thing. The only time when he was ready to say a thing, the first thing he said was, he is under tremendous pressure. His family is his family is facing tremendous pressure, and he said, I have never been attacked this much in my lifetime. For the attacks I have received for the past 5 days, he said they are terrible. Now let me bring Dr. Atienjo here. Dr. Atienjo, it's great to have you, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Secretary Chris. Thank you for bringing me on board. It's a pleasure coming on board once more to talk about important issues that are actually piloting our revolution forward.
Thank you. You picked up Dr. Tita last Sunday for the inauguration, and you told me when you picked him up, the man virtually was a dummy. He wouldn't want to talk. And that is not how you've known him. Tell us what you saw, what you experienced, picking him at the airport that Sunday morning.
Actually, let me go back to disprove a lot of Ambazonians who are sitting out there in disbelief. This was Dr. Tita's itinerary that he sent to me before he left, after he booked up his flight. And then if you go forward, you're going to see the details of the itinerary. And here is Dr. Tita in a plane. He wrote to me, Doc, I'm departing. And then the next thing is his message to me that I have arrived. I just landed. And then I told him where he was, that I was going to pick him up. Then I picked him up. Actually, when I saw Dr. Tita, he was dressed in a blue suit. And then I went up, I took his bags and put in my car, and I asked him if he wanted to sit because I saw him at that time as a president. Would you want to sit at the back seat or you going to sit in front? He said he would like to sit in front. So when I saw him, he was so moody. I have never seen that kind of frown from Dr. Tita. It was so terrible. And I asked him, is everything okay, Mr. President elect? He said, no, nothing is good. I said, what is going on? He said that the insults have been rained on him. He has been assaulted. He has been insulted in every form humanly possible for the few days that he accepted to become president-elect of Ambazonia. And I drove with him. I picked him up, and there were moments in the car that Dr. Tita would sit for about 5 minutes without us saying even a word. But he was constantly on his phone. And I tried to talk him into what is going on. And he told me, you know what? I have been insulted, I've been abused, and I need, so it means that I have come in here to clean a job, to do the cleaning. I said, what is it that you are talking about? He said, well, I need some evidences about the impeachment of the disgraced former President Sako. I said, what kind of evidences do you need, Dr. Tita? He said, evidences about his impeachment. I said, well, let me just educate you here. Maybe you don't know. Dr. Sako was not impeached based on financial dealings. That one is the secondary. He was impeached because he formed a different government. He divided the government. He divided the IG. And that was the premise on which the former president, Siseko, was impeached. And he was not only impeached because of that, he was impeached for other things. He tried to dissolve the Restoration Council. These are two impeachable offenses which the disgraced president committed, and he was actually impeached and removed from office as a result of that. Do you agree with me, Dr. He said yes. Then I said, how about the financial? I said, well, that evidence is going to come out here, and you and I were part of the APP and the Zooms that were called by the Restoration Council to display all these pieces of evidences. And did you not see that? He said he saw them. And he chickened out because I saw him sweating until when we got to a light close to where we were going to lodge him. This guy I almost had an accident because he said, oh, no, 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 I'm not going there. I need to eat. I need to take a shower. I need to sleep. I said, well, we are taking you to a place where you're going to have a nap. And why all this sudden, oh no, I need to go to a hotel. I said, Dr. Tita, we have a hotel room for you, but check-in time is at 4 p.m. So we can't get in now. And I picked him at 10:35 in the morning, Eastern time. So when we drove, and then he said he needs to eat something. I called Comrade Sebastian and asked him how we could meet at the hotel so that he could see for himself that check-in time was 4. He said he sent me the address. So we drove past through a subway where we bought some food there for him. He got a sandwich, I got mine and a drink. And then we drove off straight to the hotel. And when we got to the hotel, we were so embarrassed, even though I was not embarrassed because we had already told him we knew what was right. We told him that check-in was at 4. And the lady at the front told us, I remember you. I told you that there's no room available at this time until 4 p.m. So that is when he came to the reality that we're going, because, he was acting out of some kind of influence, which was really, really embarrassing because he was afraid of something we don't know about. He was so scared and it was so frightening to him. At some point, I believe that is when the reality of becoming a president kicked in, and he saw the attention that was brought towards him and all the insults, negative and positive, It became so overwhelming to him that he almost found a place, he was looking for a way, an escape route. However, we took him to the place where we had prepared. He got in there, and we showed him his room, comfortable two-bed, king bedside in there, well dressed, everything was fine. And he told us, I would like to sit here alone for some time. We said, okay, that's fine. Stay here as long as you can. I'm on my way to go and pick up Secretary Chris. We were with Chairman Mars. We went up and we're sharing a cup of wine together. And then I left and went to the airport and picked you, Secretary Chris. So the fear that I saw in this young man was so terrifying that uh, I reserve my comments, because there's something here that I search. I'm a psychiatrist. I see people like that every day who behave like that, and I'm not giving a diagnosis for him, but I will suggest something for him. Thank you.
We are also joined here by the Honorable Alfred Ingini, who is the spokesperson for the Restoration Council. Now, Tita has also made quite a number of allegations slamming the Restoration Council to the effect that all the evidence that the Restoration Council used in the impeaching and removing Sako were fraudulent and pure lies, and out of hatred, he says. Let me get to the Honorable Ingini, if he may tell us. Honorable Ingini, it's a pleasure to have you, sir. Did you people make up evidence with which to impeach and remove Dr. Sako?
What an interesting question, Secretary Chris. I'm excited to be here this evening or today. Thanks for having me. Greetings, Dr. Atienjo. It's good having you and sharing the platform with you today. And special greetings to all Ambazonians, and especially to our patriotic restoration fighters who are, risking their life day after day for the liberation of our homeland, and especially those who are watching us from ground zero. Secretary Chris, let me begin by saying, I don't know whether to attack you or what, to say you are smart or you're strong or whatever. I was surprised to see the images, the audio you just played here, and then the images, because I didn't think that anybody had the same images than me. I'm really surprised, And they are when Ambazonians who were like doubting, being manipulated, because we have a law, I would say thousands and millions of Ambazonians who are highly manipulated, because what's happening with those who are following the former president is not normal. There is no normal person on his senses who could still be thinking and talking and behaving the way some of them are doing, if not hypnotical power and control over their minds. But then the clarity of knowledge and information shines a light, to clarify those who want to benefit, for the benefit of doubt, to save them from anything that happens. Because when you follow a man, you will end where the man will end. That is true. Talking about the fact that Dr. Tita, we have accused the Restoration Council of having no evidence of impeachment. It's a fatal lie. It's a big fallacy, deception. Unless a man deceives himself. When I was reading through the letter that they wrote to the Restoration Council, actually the chairman and one of the honorables, talking about sabotage and blackmail to those who fall out with you along the line. He say he has become a topic of conversation. That is true, but I want to let Ambazonians know that he is the one who fall out with the Restoration Council or fall out with the people, not the people falling out with him. That is true. This somebody I known and I respected. The audio you played here was in the day where he was elected to be the interim president. And I was wondering when I saw that letter, that's not the first. The resignation, the claim that there was nothing or allegations, all but trying to tarnish the image of somebody or build or lies. I would say that this somebody, without being conscious of those evidences that I showed here, the ones I had was not whatever you were showing here. And you were showing at a personal level. And this is just a tip to let Ambazonians know and know that they are highly manipulated. Because when you follow through here, all the things that is pointed out, from the audio to the video, I have them all. I have the audio, I have the video, all those things. That's why I'm saying I don't know how you have any access to my gadgets, and you can enter and come out without anybody knowing. I need to be careful with you. Yeah. So that is it. when he followed through for those speeches, because if it were only to be those speeches, I contemplated. I said, but I followed through those speeches over and over. The day of his election, the day of the presentation in the People's Constituent Assembly, the APP, and those two speeches. I was wondering, was this guy on his senses and has something gone wrong with him? This is the truth. As he testified, and you bearing the witness or whatever Dr. Achenjo is saying here, who bore witness in the minutes before the swearing in, and something all through here. He didn't only come through physical attacks, but has come through high level of manipulation and I want to say spiritual manipulation and hypnotical control. That is true. As we are speaking here, last evening he was dining with the former president, in a meeting where he was being cheered up as a patriotic Ambazonia here and there. But evidently, everything is going up because even like Dr. Chenjo said here, the reason why we impeached Sako was first because of the violation of the very constitution he's claiming to want to interpret to people and has become an expert from nowhere, trying to distort what is not there and to fool people who will not even want to read through. And they are able to carry a message and run through in deception without following through with the tone of the constitution and all that it embodies. Now, so there were a lot of things, that were impeachable. The fact that he has been trying to break the IG, the fact that he has divided the Constituent Assembly of the people, the fact that he tried to ban, dissolve the Restoration Council, and this financial allegation and every other thing, we have the bundles of it all together. And bet me, very soon, we are going to release them out. We didn't want to release them in patches or pieces. We want to release the bundle for all Ambazonians to see, because there are always Thomases who want to see before they believe. So for him to begin to claim and then risk to go on social media, exposing himself, he is the one sabotaging himself, blackmailing himself, because everything is evidently just this audio, just this video, beside those evidences that you have of your communication with him. And none of that speaks volume. It would have been better with him, as my last information about him was the fact that where are you now? What are you thinking now? I just want to play cool. I just want to reserve myself, hold on myself, and see. I'm surprised that he was now dining his day and trying to do what he's doing. Because the next thing which I like him to know, and those who are advising him to know, is the fact that these guys are trying to use him. The next thing is that they call him on TV to go and make a fool of himself. And at the end of the day, all things play back on him, because at the end of the day, dump him, he has no sense of his own belonging here and there. Because in his letter, when you read, he talks being an aspirant for democracy, meaning he has hopes and a projection for the future, and is passionate for the liberation of the homeland. That is true. As a young man, being a young man the way he is, he should be more dynamic and more committed to the cause more than some of us. And this is a challenge. So it's a fallacy. It's a big deception. And I don't know whether to say foolishness to want to say the Restoration Council, because here he said it categorically that for the last 3 months, the struggle for our liberation has been on a turmoil, and and if not from the Restoration Council, he said, "Una cafe day up." That was it. He said, and then say categorically, Dr. Sako is not the IG, and we cannot leave things. If you were to follow that video from the beginning, you say, no, we cannot tolerate this, and this is enough. Say it's a new dawn for Ambazonia. He defended the investigation. So I'm shocked to hear that here, and it could be really a very embarrassing and dampening of his own person. It can never be about the Restoration Council, because Ambazonians who were manipulated came back to their senses and know what the Restoration Council is doing up to now, and are determined to do up to now until tomorrow. That is the truth. If we remain, whatever number will remain there, thank God we whatever they can think or imagine, as they are being told out there. We don't form a call. We are more than that, and we are determined to stand on the side of truth, to speak it loud and clear wherever.
If I may ask, Tita has said he looked at the evidence presented for the impeachment and realized that they were all fabrications. Did he ever, in the process of being voted for president, request to see any evidence from the Restoration Council?
Yeah, there were the vetting was not a general thing, it was by key members of the restoration that spoke with him, and follow up and everything. When he came in for that evening, where you got the audio and I have the video, he was speaking and affirming what the Restoration Council has proven to him. He says it's still categorical that we have come here, and he's applauding the effort of the Restoration Council for all they have done to. I had been in the call with him. I don't want to get into that. I had been in a call with him sometimes some weeks before that, where he cried the frustration that the struggle was facing, lamentably, and said, well, it was just after my passing on ABC, not even on ABS. Say, I was glad to hear you speak on the thing you were speaking, and you stood up for the truth of what's happening. We cannot continue to allow things happen this way. We need to be able to speak out for consciences of those who are being manipulated to be awakened. So through the vetting process, vetting has a different phases. The pre-collection of information about the person, and then the interview, the talk, communication with the person now to confirm whatever has been gotten from the pre-findings, and then to codify at the end. Now, he was very adverse about that, and he was convicted. It was only through that manipulation, that manipulation he went through before coming for the swearing in. Prior to the swearing in, that he became so confused, and I was dictated or directed on to do whatever he's doing now is not what he thought to do, but what he has been told to do. He's not acting on his senses. This is what Ambazonia unfortunately on him.
Dr. Atienjo, the Honorable Engineer say he wasn't acting on his senses. It appears he still wasn't acting in his senses all the way to DC. Now, have you been able to figure out what exactly is responsible for this attitude for the withdrawal? Could it be because of the family pressure that he made all of us to understand? Or these attacks. Remember, we learned of a certain tape that was going to be put out there by some Ambazonians in Florida, a tape in which he put himself in a very bad setting, compromising setting. And he also mentioned the vicious attacks coming from Sarko's followers. Have you been able to figure out which of these actually got him out?
Well, Secretary Chris, I can tell you that in his letter of resignation, it was a complete fallacy, because they claim that he brought on board for not having enough evidences for the impeachment of the disgraced Sarko were all false. I can see that there's something I would like to read here. A person with HDD, I'll later call it in full, is someone who has a disorder that puts him in a position to seek attention, talks dramatically, and always wanting to be at the center of things, with a strong opinion, and that person at the same time is easily influenced, changes decisions rapidly with emotions. Well, it's a certain condition in psychiatry, we call it's a personality condition. They call it histrionic personality disorder. I can see that with all this juvenile or youthful exuberance, I saw that Dr. Tita jumped into a situation that he never prepared himself psychologically. And because of his ability to seek attention in every forum or in every situation, because of his ability to actually sit in the middle, to be part of, to be at the center of things, that pushed him in that situation. Yes, of course, he told me that he had a lot of family pressure. Before leaving his house, his wife and daughters were crying. And then he also said that the people in Florida, Tampa Bay, are not happy with him. And he did not tell me anything deep about his past there. But from what we are digging, it looks like there was some information damaging information that was going to come. And the fact that Tita knew that the disgraced president was going to meet with the women of of Florida, who had a lot of incriminating evidences against Tita, actually pushed him to take this decision because he wanted Sako to cancel his meeting with those women, and he wanted that even if he goes for the meeting, whatever pieces of evidence that is brought on board will not be put out there. So you can see him fighting a war from both fronts. He is trying to appease the Sako group for all the evidences they have gotten against him, not to put it out there. And he's also trying to like fight at us or fight against us, thinking that in order to keep himself safe. But the issue here is that he has forgotten. He is really misguided because if I were Dr. Tita, I would sit quiet and receive the punches and be honorable. So I would say here that he is a young man who jumped into who put on he wore shoes that could not size him, and now he quickly realized himself that he had caused a lot of damage as he was moving up the ladder, a political ladder, and thought that he could go back to address these issues. That is why he hastily took that decision to resign. Yes, there was some incriminating evidence that was coming from Florida, and that actually put the nail on the coffin.
All right, let's hold it there. Let's move on to the most important subject of this broadcast. And Mike Fusi is joining us. I will bring in this other very important subject, then I'll bring him in. Then we can join the discussion on both issues. Ladies and gentlemen, Ambazonia has a new leader in town. Ambazonia has a new president, and that new president, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce him to you right now in this dancing mode. Take a look. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ambazonia has a new leader. Ambazonians have a new president. Making history for the first time, ladies and gentlemen. The people of the Southern Cameroons has a woman president in the name of Marianta Njomia. Marianta Njomia. You all recall that she was initially picked as the vice president to Dr. Tita Emmanuel. When Dr. Tita Emmanuel turned it down 2 days ago, the Restoration Council meeting yesterday constitutionally picked her to become the next president of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. She is picked to be there for a transitional period of 4 months until elections are conducted, ladies and gentlemen. He is still being waited to pick her own vice president. Until becoming vice president to Dr. Tita Emmanuel and becoming president yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, Marianta Jomia was the Under Secretary in the Department of Education here at the interim government. She has served in this revolution from day number one. Very early in the struggle, she was the one who was leading England, leading the United Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen, leading all of Ambazonians in the United Kingdom, rallying them out for protest rallies and petitions at the quarters that matter. So she is no new person. In this struggle. She's also been the European leader, Ambazonians' European leaders, for quite a number of years, I believe. And now the mantle has fallen upon her to take over the mantle at the helm of the interim government. And so going forward for the next 4 months, she will call the shots here at the interim government. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege for me to present to you today Lady Marianta Jomia as President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. She is married with children, a teacher by profession. Lady Marianta, it's a pleasure to have you as our president. We look forward to giving you a helping hand to make sure that under your tenure, we take this struggle to where Samuel Ekomesako failed to take it to. I am now joined, ladies and gentlemen, by Comrade Mike Fusi, who was actually considered for vice president to Marianta Jomia. Comrade Fosi, it's a pleasure to have you, sir. Give us your take on this choice of Marianta as President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Again, you were picked or nominated for Vice President, but for some reasons, you just wouldn't take it. But I believe that this is a good choice, a choice that every Ambazonian should rally behind. Am I wrong?
Yes, Secretary Chris, I'm glad to join you again this afternoon or evening on this ABS TV to again try to spread the news about our struggle and especially to welcome our new president, Marianta. Well, with regards to the choice of Marianta, I think uh, uh, I made a statement earlier that gold or diamond is not easily mined. You know, you have to dig deep to find it. So, being that we had to go through everything that we went through to find her, she's a jewel that we were able to bring up. And I believe that she is the right choice at this time, especially being a female, and that she will bring a new perspective to the leadership structure of this interim government. I think men have had their opportunity for quite some time, and they have not quite delivered. So I think it is time for a woman to take the lead, and maybe she is the one we've been waiting for. So I'm very optimistic. She's been persistent. She's stood up for the truth, even in the interim government, the former under former President Sako. She's one of the first that spoke out against all the all of the things that were not going on right in that in that government, and of course he was chastised and pushed out. So we are very glad to have her heading our government at this time, and I cannot be more optimistic. Yes, as you rightly mentioned, I was one of those named to be her vice president, but for reasons that I won't like to go into here, I just could not accept that position at this time. There's always the right time for everything, so maybe the right time will come. But for now, I think we have a complete team that I'm very sure will give us the results that we've been waiting for all this time. So again, I say congratulations to President Marianta. I cannot wait to work with you to make sure that the dream of realizing a free and democratic Ambazonia is realized. Because there's one thing about being free, but we are not just fighting to be free. We're fighting to be free and democratic. Because I'll tell you one thing, Secretary Chris. I'm sitting here right now, and because of the benefits of that I have received from democracy. Without democracy, from my own humble beginnings, I cannot have imagined that I will be here right now. So I know what benefits democracy can bring to our people, and that is why I'm in this struggle, not for myself, but for those back home who are yearning to have opportunities. Good leadership is very is at the core of all development and growth. Without good leadership, even in the midst of plenty, you will still find people going hungry, and that is exactly what is happening in the southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. So let us put our hands together, join Marianta and the new team to make sure that we realize this dream of at last delivering Ambazonia for our people.
Let
Thank
me
you.
go to Dr. Atienjo. This has been long in coming. This has been very long in coming. What would you suggest to be, and I will ask the same question to the rest of you, what would you suggest should be the main preoccupation of Iya Marianta at this moment? Is a very brief period she has in power, just 4 months. What would you suggest should be her immediate preoccupation, Dr. Tenjo?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate our president-elect, Aya Marietta, for accepting to become our first female president. And it is honorable, and Ambazonians need to go to the streets celebrating, because this is a democratic step or milestone that has been registered by our young country that is in the making. So I know I saw the energy that she accepted this position. I am very firm that she is going to be a very a team player, so that we can work together to actually take Amazon forward. What is the main thing that she needs to focus on for these 4 months? 4 months is politically, 4 months is a very, very a long time. And you think, in other words, is also short in other ways too. So, but one thing that is very, very important for the president to take or to embark on is to connect with ground zero. You know, this government has been disconnected under disgraced President Sako. This government has been disconnected from ground zero. What I mean by disconnection is because of the fact that we have raised funds in different ways, from MTTB, from draft 2020, 2021, and also some other intra-foral contributions like the lava storm. This money has never reached our people. They have never reached our boys on the ground. So the first assignment for the new leadership is to establish that direct link that will actually encourage our people on the ground who are suffering, who have been doing everything to protect our territory and have not been compensated or have not been given any incentives. Let them feel a new touch from a new government. And then another thing I would like her to do is to actually work together with even people who do not want her to be in position of power, so that we can collectively build a unified and strong struggle or Ambazonia for our people in Ground Zero. Those are the 2 points. Connect with Ground Zero and make sure that they feel the touch. And secondly, to work together with everyone to actually foster our revolution forward. Thank you.
Reverend Honorable Ingenie, what in your mind should be the immediate task she should be engaged in right now?
Thank you, Secretary Chris. I want to throw the line after Dr. Achenjo for the fact that she, with a lot of excitement, I've seen the joy she put up or the zeal she put up showing up for this post. And, like 4 months just look like a very short time, but when you know what you're supposed to do and you commit yourself to doing it and you are able to get the essentials done, you can do what some people may not do for 5 years or analyze what some people for 4 years have not been able to do. You'll be able to do it. And so I line up, it's been a burden in my heart. Few hours before now, I was talking with a friend, a colleague, and he was just asking me, what do you think about this choice of uh, President Marianta coming on for this transitional government? I said, I want to think. He said, is it not too short for her? What do you think? Can she do anything? I said, she can do a lot. She knows what is supposed to be done and go straight to doing it. And then I said to this guy, I said, when you read through the Bible, you have a lot of vivid cases. One of them outstandingly is Queen Esther. When she came up into power in a very short time, less than a month, her people had been kind of programmed for destruction and annihilation, total wipeout. And it was published everywhere. People were living, their situation was even worse than that of Ambazonia. Ambazonians have a greater hope than those people in the days of Esther. And when she came up, the good thing she had was the fact that she had an uncle who was like a father and who was a mentor. Like Dr. Chen says here, she cannot do that alone. She needs to work with people. And I want to say there are a lot of Mordecai. They call that uncle of Esther Mordecai. I told my friend today, if she would be able to tap from the wisdom and direction from those Mordecais, and one of them could be the vice president, and the team that are going to work together with her, and whoever, people who are passionate for the cause of Ambazonia, and then go in line of that. And if that will happen, it has to do with humility. You are called to be for the people, because Ground Zero is the heat ground where people are suffering the torture and pain here on earth. And we are all informed, all abreast of the challenges going through now in Ground Zero, especially the manipulation within our restoration fighters, the frustration they have suffered from the failed government of Dr. Sako Samuel. Now, they need somebody who will reach out to them, not just like a leader to give command here and there, but as a father, as a mother, being available, and that, with immediate challenges, reaching out to them. And when that impact is felt back in Ground Zero, whatever we coordinated at the level of the diaspora will just be harnessing the effort together for good success. And who knows, while we are talking about transition of 4 months, if she does something very strategic before 4 months, we could be delivered. Nothing is impossible for God. When God comes in for one day can be like 1,000 years, and things are done radically. So if she put on that garment of humility for service to the people as she shows up, then she will be shocked what will become. And the 4 months can live to be history that Ambazonians have never known. Thank you.
Mike, please, your turn. What do you think she should be doing right now within these 4 months as a matter of priority?
As a matter of priority, Secretary Chris, there are a few things that should be the priority for her administration. And one of those is strengthening the structures of our government. You will realize that the reason we are in this mess, first of all, is because the institutions of our government were not working as intended. And the former president was trying hard to even make them weaker so he can use them as, especially like the Restoration Council, use it as
a rubber stamp institution which will simply approve of anything that he wants. We have to make sure that the Restoration Council is properly constituted again, and that the terms of reference of the Restoration Council are well understood by our people, that the Constitution is completed. I say completed because right now it's by me, I feel that it's incomplete. There are a lot of things that are lacking in the Constitution. We have to complete it. And then, of course, most important, Ground Zero has been lacking of leadership. Till now, we have a president who is more interested in doing business abroad and doesn't care much on what is happening on the ground. We have to be in sync with Ground Zero, making sure that our fighters have what they need to prosecute this war and are guiding them, because these soldiers, some of them have never fought a war before. They don't know what the rules of the game are. They don't know what they're supposed to do or what they're not supposed to do. So we have to guide them to make sure they're doing the right thing and directing them to the right channel or to the right enemy, and making sure that we mitigate any issues or disputes that may arise in between our fighters. When we do that and we show our people that we care about them, okay, reaching out to our refugees, that is giving our people a sense of direction, a purpose for this struggle. Because there are people who still do not understand what we're fighting for. They just know that, okay, we're fighting for Ambazonia. Okay, but what does that mean? It entails making sure that you have good schools. It entails making sure that you have a good roads. That you have, when you graduate from school, you should be able to find a job. It entails having an economy that is there to satisfy the wishes of the people in terms of providing jobs, and first of all, training the right personnel to fill those job positions, and making sure that we reform our taxation and customs department. The health infrastructure is poor. Our education is poor. There are a lot of things that we need to educate our people on to understand what this whole struggle is about. Look at just the amount of corruption that exists in the society, where our people are living in the midst of plenty. It's like living at the banks of a river, and yet you are starving of thirst. You are dying of thirst. So we have to make sure that when we talk about these things, Secretary Chris, I always go back to the image of Ngabo, the Ngabo massacre. I always like to go back to it. When you look at the image, those poor kids who were slaughtered with their parents, and even the pregnant women, they were slaughtered by La République du Cameroon. Why did they think they could do that and get away with it? First of all, they looked at these children and they looked poor and miserable. They didn't look like there was anybody who could stand up for them and defend them or fight back, even through the judicial system, as bad as it is. They knew they could just kill these people, bury them in a mass grave, and walk away, and nothing will happen. So when I look at that image, I always see myself in those kids. I always see myself in those kids because growing up, I didn't have much. But when you look at a kid like that, and you simply discount what that child may grow up to be because of their humble beginnings, that is wrong. In Ambazonia, we are fighting to make sure that every child, like each of those children that you could find on the image of the Ngabo massacre, has a future. That you don't look at them and you think they cannot be a prime minister. You don't look at them and you think they cannot be an engineer or a doctor or a president. That every child should have high hopes that in Ambazonia you can rise up to be whoever you want to be, as long as you're willing to work for it. So these are the things that I hope our new administration will focus on, to make sure that they lay the foundation for the way forward. I don't think they'll be able to do a lot within 4 months, but they can lay a good foundation on which any other administration that comes in after the election should be able to build on, and give us the kind of government that we're hoping for in Ambazonia.
Oh, right. If you ask me, I would want to think that right now the counties have been so much destabilized. This is something that can be immediately put together, take them off Circle's Bitcoin ring and bring some sanity within that fold. And then, of course, ground zero is the number one. Ground zero is the number one. I was speaking with No PT today, and they are very excited with Marianta. I mean, No PT. I was speaking with No PT this morning, and he said they are very excited with Marianta taking over the leadership of the Ambazonia. And I think that if any two things, because 4 months, somebody have said that in politics is nothing. So, ground zero, bringing back the counties together and letting them know that, focusing on these two areas, I think if she does that, she may have brought some immediate stability on ground zero and in the diaspora so that whoever comes in next doesn't pick up the crumbs, picks up something that is already trying to function. Dr. Atienjo, let me give it back to you.
Yes, Secretary Chris, what you have said is actually, I mean, you have eloquently presented it. And actually, what the new president should be able to do is to actually attract the county structure to the government so that things can work better. And this is the way to do it. We know that most of these county chairs are kind of in a position where their own deeds have put them in a very difficult position. Some of them are in a dilemma at this moment. But I also want to use this opportunity to appeal to them that sanity, which has been brought into this revolution by the Restoration Council and by the choice of a new president, should be able to speak to them, to their consciences, to see what is right for Ambazonia. And the best way to do this is to actually go to the base and work with with the people. And for instance, you go to each of the counties, like Indian County, where the president-elect comes from, has I think 6 or 7 LGAs. Go in there and galvanize the base, and then the base would actually work forward to come up with a good county structure. And I know that she's going to face some resistance. Like from Momo, where I come from, Momo is having 2 county chairs. One of them is the illegal county chair who was brought in by the scheme of the disgraced former president. He is irrelevant when it comes to Momo, and we have conducted under the recalibration structure. The LGA has been constituted. We have an LGA chair, then we have many more. We have Njikwa out of 5. So these 3 counties, LGS could come up with a structure, a county structure, which is already in place, led by Chairman Patrick, and we have 3 on 5. Go to Mezam, the same thing. Go to other counties, the same thing. If there are some people resisting, they will follow later. We must not move or work together with everybody at this moment. This is a very serious assignment that the new president should embark on. You must not think that you are going to have 100% support in order to continue. Go with the 75% of people you have, and then the rest will follow. That is a very good approach. And then I would also suggest that she should throw an olive tree to our people, of some of the cabinet members who are still resisting, to so afraid, like Dr. Tita, to leave from that other side. Throw an olive tree to them and say, you know what? Come, let us work together. I enjoy your service to the Ambazonian people. You are not serving an individual, you are serving the people of Ambazonia. And these people, I know they are very smart and people in the government, in the executive, in the cabinet, who are going to come to their senses after this is thrown, because they think that we are going to be insulting them. No, we are a welcoming people. We believe in unity. We believe in working collectively to build our country. So every cabinet member, if you think that you are still on the other side and afraid to join, please come on board. The new president is going to welcome you, and we shall all work as comrades to build our country. Thank you.
If I may turn back to the Honorable Engineer out there, you know that Sako is still holding many county chairs in his cage, in a sort of bondage. What would the Restoration Council be doing to make sure that the stranglehold that Sako has over these counties is loosened? For example, if I were in the position to take those decisions, I will say, the National Treasurer should give no dime to any county chair that is still hanging around Sako as of the moment. That money should be given to any new county leaders that will be constituted, that is, assuming that the old ones remain with Sako. Do you see the Restoration Council stepping up to do something like this?
Let me affirm what you said and not say I'm saying. That is what at the moment the Restoration Council is doing. That is what at the moment. We like to know, to let Ambazonians know from here that few days ago, 2 days ago, we have done follow-up instructions, because the Treasury is the hub of all that has to do to sponsor this revolution. And the Restoration Council had issued letters, I think this should be the third one, 2 days ago, and instructing the Treasury that any requisition of any finance, whether by LGA or by county, it must be done through the Restoration Council. So even the Treasury, members of the Treasury who are privileged to watch us here, should know that anyone who does anything otherwise, he will be haunted at the personal, he will be caught up at the personal level to be responsible for Ambazonia. So none of them, as a team working within the Treasury, have any power to release any money without the endorsement of the Restoration Council. So the Treasury at the moment is not under anybody. We have a new president who is on transition. We don't want to be distracted about that. That is the responsibility of the Restoration Council.
When you say that the Treasury at this moment is not under anybody, what do you mean? It should be under.
No, I mean that.
It should be under the Restoration Council.
Yes, for
oversight.
Following the fact that we have impeached and removed from office the former president, and there's an incoming president. Before incoming, all has now been under the charge of the Restoration Council, and we are doing that. We are doing follow up, and any of these days, the auditing will be done. Auditing of that treasury will be done, and we have officially issued a letter that should be at the consciousness or the knowledge of all leaders of the counties and LGS, that nobody. So when I say it's not under the charge, I'm just calling the attention of the incoming president and the VP and his team. It will not be their fight. The Restoration Council are taking up that challenge, and we are going to fight to any corner. Unfortunately, like Dr. Chenjo said here, most of those county chairs and some of those people are entangled. But when they come to their senses, because some of their questions they're asking, oh, I was entangled into this. I didn't even know what I was doing. But now, if I let go of this man, I will be called in to shoulder the responsibility and pay the debt. Now, will you stand with a man who will drown with you and in the debt, or you stand out in your truth and confession before your people who will accept you? And then whatever follows the man, you are free because you did what you did in your ignorance or manipulation. That's a challenge. So that's what we're working on now. And we are still committed with the incoming president to see that we touch ground zero, especially with the restoration forces, to have that living relationship or connection with them, so that no matter what they are doing, once we get hold of them, and at best, like we have heard the comrade said here, the simple truth will be that those who are resisting from within the diaspora in coordination of leadership, they will have no power because they have no people to rule over. The people we are supposed to really be able to work with them hand in hand, day after day, are the people on ground zero. But you see, from this corrupt government of Dr. Sako, everybody, it has been about a tussle for power, tussle for position, tussle for money, and here and there. And that's why a lot of corruption, and the people are dying back in ground zero. I'm grateful that there are some of them who are still patriotic no matter what. Even those who have been highly manipulated with some fake or kind of endorsement from mission one level to another in order to pay allegiance to a person and to pay allegiance to the interim government. They will come, they will understand who is who, because we are fully up. So I want to assure Ambazonia that the fact that we have a president coming in and a team to work with does not mean that the restriction council is standing out. We came up, and that's why we called for town hall conferences, that we want to be able to dialogue and fellowship with the people, have exchanges of what is going on. We are not going to stand from afar and look at things which somebody will begin to tamper with the institutions of Ambazonia before we want to do a catch-up. No. We are learning on the course, but from the mistakes of the past, we are supposed to be able to secure and be proactive to defend the future or to secure the future. Thank you.
Wonderful. Comrade Mike, what would you like to add in there, please, before I open the phone lines for Ambazonians to come in with some contributions?
Yes, Secretary Chris. I would like for us to take, let's look at our struggle like a business, right? When you're doing a business, you want to make sure the business is profitable. Now, when you look at the expenses of the outgone administration, where the president's rent is $2,500, where his salary is $3,000, that is $5,500 a month. Now, if you throw in parties on share at ABC, that's like $6,500.
Is party being paid at the moment?
Yes, it is. And then you multiply that times 12. The president alone is 66,000. If you add another 12,000 on that, now if you multiply, if you were to add ABC, which is $5,000, roughly $5,000 a month, and you multiply all these amounts by 12, that's $138,000. And I'm asking all the county chairs and LGA chairs, where is this money coming from to pay all these things? Because it's considered some noise. Okay, you call it in business overhead costs. If you already in 1 year that you collect whatever amount you collect, you already take out 138,000. That's just overhead costs, and that does not include corruption and mismanagement. Now, how much is left to prosecute the war against La République du Cameroon? Now, I'm asking these county chairs and LGA chairs. This money is coming from you and your constituents. And with the number of persons that have already left the government, how do you really think this is sustainable, that you continue every month, every year, you have to pull from your pockets this amount just to maintain someone in the diaspora? Compare that with the new administration we now have. Zero rent to be paid, zero salary to be paid. Who in his right or her right mind would not take that deal as compared to the one of Dr. Sako, especially considering the fact that despite these amounts being paid, nothing was being achieved. A summary of zero activity on the ground, no action on AFCON, no action on 11th of February, no action on Chan. Nothing. Our counties having disputes here and there. Fako is in shambles. Momo is in shambles. Meme the same. Then you compound that with all of the disputes within the interim government itself that have been unresolved, and the division in the interim government, creating factions, pitting comrade against comrade. Now, you tell me, why will you dish out $138,000 a year just for that kind of record when you have something, people who will stand for integrity, transparency within the government? They'll clamp down on corruption and make sure there's good governance and focus on ground zero. Now, I'm asking any Ambazonian out there,
Why wouldn't you take this deal that costs you far less, but with huge benefits, as compared to the old system, which is very expensive, ineffective, but costs a lot of money? Huh? I just think that anyone out there with a rational mind will rally around our new government and give them their support, especially with the fact that we're going to focus on ground zero, and we will focus on making sure that the structures of our government are working as intended. I think it's a win-win for Ambazonia, and anyone within his right mind should support this government. So I'm very hopeful and optimistic for the future, Secretary Chris. For the past 4 months, I have been like down, but right now I feel hopeful and optimistic that the future of Ambazonia is bright, because I believe that we will at last lay the foundation, strengthen our institutions to make sure that we are able to have a democratic and free and prosperous Ambazonia.
Well,
Secretary Chris, can I add something? Let me dissect something here, please.
all
A
right, go
minute.
on, please, go on.
I'm looking on, I have 836 Ambazonians watching us at this time. I just want to talk more on this issue, very important issue that my honorable member and Comrade Mike has brought on board. I know that the president has been under the sponsorship of this government for about 4 years now. If you put the numbers together, it is a fact. $3,000, 700 for his expenses, 2,300 for his rents. And if you multiply this by 12, and then by 36 months, or let's say 48 months, which will be 4 years, this is a huge amount of money that has been spent on the president for the 4 years. And then if you add up the small jangies that he has been meeting with people from different communities, and each time he goes around, they will throw a dish or a plate on the floor for people to make contributions for the president. Some of this money have amounted to thousands, and he has taken them and put in pockets. And then think about some other deals in the background, gifts that have been given to him. You would see that in these 4 years, over 500,000 has been depleted from the coffers of Ambazonians for personal interest for an individual. So, Ambazonians, look at this analysis. If this money was pumped into our revolution, I don't think we would have been where we are today. And this is the simple reason why this man doesn't want to leave, because this revolution feeds him. This revolution gives him a shelter. This revolution clothes him. This revolution does everything for him. So, Ambazona, would you prefer to live with somebody who is milking you to death, or and the revolution to a fall or to a standstill, or you are going to look for somebody more who is responsible, who is able to stand up there and say, I don't need your money for rents, I don't need your money for rents, for clothes, I don't need your money for food. Let us put all this money and focus on our struggle. So let me put this to all Ambazonians. Let your conscience judge you. Do those who are still following this man, in your right mind, do you see that this man milking Ambazonians, milking our struggle to live on, to feed on, to actually clothe himself, are this part of the revolution? Absolutely no. These are nothing. All this have nothing to do with our revolution. So let sanity, let our consciences judge us to see that we need to stop and do what is right for our people. Thank you.
Thank you. That is well, very well said, sir. Let's hold it there for a moment. I am going to open the phone lines, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you watching out there to come in with your own input. Would like to know how you feel about our new president or the presidency being moved to the United Kingdom. Just want to make sure that before you call, make sure that your television, the volume of your set is turned down. Make sure that the volume of your set is turned down before you go ahead and call. The number is there on your screen, and the lines are open. Wow. So, all right. Somebody is calling already. Let me get this first. Oh, I think you dropped the call, I guess. Let's see who else is on the line. Okay, well, let's see. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Good evening. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Pennsylvania, sir.
Pennsylvania. Okay. What is in your mind today, sir? Tell me what you think about our new president.
Yeah, before I go to the new president, I want first to appreciate your effort and that of the Restoration Council.
Thank you.
In fact, I'm very overwhelmed with the election of the new president. And I think that Ambazonia should forget about the former impeached president, because we need to continue.
Okay.
And, I think while we're continuing, as it stands, they should be able to set up good structure in which we can start raising more resources to keep the fire burning. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, sir. God bless.
All right, sir.
All right. The phones are shouting. Let me see where they are shouting from. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, sir? 971. Is it Cyprus or where is it?
No, from UAE.
UAE. Okay. What is in your mind, sir?
Well, first of all, I want to give 21 gun salute to all of you, especially you, Secretary Chris. What you are doing, you are really doing a very, very great job. Very, very great job. I really appreciate.
Thank you.
Yeah, concerning our new president, yeah, she's very vibrant from the look of things, the way we can see her. I think she will make a good leadership. And we the Ambazonia, we are always behind any president. As long as he or she is ready to lead us towards our freedom, we are ready to give he or she the support. So once again, she is very, very vibrant, and I think she's going to lead us well. Concerning President Sako, is no longer the president, the former man. Let me put it that way. They say empty vessel make a loudest noise. You know, empty container without water makes the loudest noise. What he's doing is just making noise. The only thing that is giving him the mind, the courage, is that ABS TV, that ABC TV, that is giving him the opportunity to be parading himself as a president. If that is being taken away from him, I don't think there is any way he can stand to call himself, to still make himself as a president. Well, concerning the resignation president, the former one, that first of all, the third president, that was the name Tita, what and so ever.
Yes.
That is the most funniest president I've ever seen. That resigned within 24 hours. That will be a history in Ambazonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be, so that is all I have for now. So she's going to make a new and good leadership. One thing I would like all of you, Secretary Chris, with people like you, I believe you are going to advise her, you are going to lead her. With the advice you people have, you people are going to push the revolution forward with people like you, not somebody that will want to stand and do his own things by his own self. So once again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. Wonderful. You remain safe out there, sir. Okay, let us see who calls in. This is my man. Hello, sir. The Honorable Mullah himself.
Hello.
Hello, Dean. Yes, sir. You have the line.
Yeah,
Yes, Secretary Chris, thank you for the show. I want to greet all the panelists and a warm congratulations to my sister, Marianta. I've known her for a very long time. And we met in Berlin. She led the country and regional coordinators. She has led UK and also under secretary for education. So I think it's a very good choice. We give her all the best and wish her luck. That I think for the past couple of months, we haven't seen a lot from the impeached president. He's always there just reading scripts, but he's lacking in action. And I think Marianta is a doer. If you can even see the project that she carried about on mask, you should be, if it was not sabotaged by Sako himself and Irene Goa, I think it would have been a great success. So I think she's very innovative, very understanding, and I think it's a best choice. One thing that I would like to thank the chicken out Dr. Tita is that she gave us Marianta. At least I would thank him for that.
Yes, sir.
So I think, that was my contribution. They said you have a question for me.
So I was asking the panel here what you think should be her immediate engagement as far as getting to work is concerned.
I think if I had to advise her immediate engagement would be to connect with Ground Zero and to connect with us in the diaspora and let's say send out an olive branch to all Ambazonians, because now she's the leader of all Ambazonians, not just a few. So bring everybody under the same umbrella. She will come out and denounce what the scam Sako is trying to organize in Washington next week or next year, I think in 2 weeks' time. Denounce it, bring everybody together, be a unifier. I think with that, and work also with the country chairs. She knows a lot about the country coordinators, and I think that would be a very good start. And also members of the formal Sarko's government, like SOS that are there, talk with them, and I think that would be a good start.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the call.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, that was Mola Dean calling in from Canada. Let's see where this guy is calling from with 316. Hello.
Good evening, and good evening, the panel.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling in from, please?
I'm calling in from the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. Wonderful. Tell us what is in your mind. What do you think about our new president?
I am just so happy, very, very happy to see democracy in the making in Ambazonia.
I think La Republic should be learning from us now, isn't it?
Those people have a lesson to learn from us Ambazonians. Keep the fire burning. I have just 2 questions, just 2 proposals,
okay,
please. One, I believe Ambazonia is a country, and the new president should do her best to contact the other leaders, say Ayabacho or the Cabal or whatever. Ambazonia should have an identity card. We may disagree, but if we agree that we have Ambazonia, we should have our ID cards. I think you should go on that. We should have a platform for all Ambazonians, non-exception, to create an identity card for ourselves, because it's shameful. Like for example, I am in the Netherlands, but I cannot go to my city council and present my ID card that I am from Cameroon, but from the southern Cameroons. How do I sell my story out if I don't have an identity card? One. Secondly, I believe the new president should see it this way. Are we going to end like Ethiopia and Eritrea, or are we going to end like Somali and Somaliland? we should be looking at Ambazonia that way. With that, we will know what to do on ground zero. That's
Okay.
just my contribution.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's see what she can do within this short period. Thanks for the call. I hope that she will get all of your support. All right. Let's get to the next caller here. This must be from the USA. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Turn down the volume of your set, please.
Yes, I've done that, Secretary Chris.
Okay. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Calgary, Canada.
Oh, Calgary, Canada. Okay. And what is your contribution?
Yeah, Secretary Chris, I'm very happy. I want to say Marianta, even though I've not met her before, I think this is a new light for the struggle. I'm so disappointed with Sako because when he came here in Calgary, I was the one coordinating all the activities in Calgary under Sako.
Okay.
I'm so disappointed even at this point until I cannot even face.
What made you disappointed with his visit there in Calgary?
I'm so disappointed because when he came here, I was the one coordinating, and we raised money and gave to him, and we have not seen anything. Nothing has come out from that. And the fact that he wants to undermine the Restoration Council that put him in power is a big disgrace to the. It's a big disgrace to the struggle, because how can you undermine the same Restoration Council that gave you power?
Right.
So my point now is that all Ambazonia to focus now and know that Marianta is the person that God has chosen to take the mantle this time. And I believe with all the support, she's gonna do better than Sako. I was so shocked when I watched one of your program when Thibault Nash said that he has never received anybody from Sako and Sako is in America. I was shocked that day till today. I will never forgive Sako.
And Sako is in DC, not just in America, in DC, where you have the seat of every diplomatic power in the world.
Sako has not been able to go like a person or go to see somebody in his own town. Then some people still think that he will be able to convince somebody in a different country.
Yeah.
So
all right.
I want to thank all the Ambazonians and to thank the Restoration Council that no matter what, we have to pick up and keep on the struggle moving, because Lady Marianta, I believe she's far better. What she has done in UK, Sako has not been able to do that in the United States. That alone speaks a lot for everybody.
All right.
Senses to know that Sako has nothing to offer again for the struggle.
All right.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. All right. Let us see. This is Belgium. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. I really want to comment, particularly on our newly president in history.
Okay.
And to tell the world and the Ambazonia in particular, who is this lady concerning who is she, that people could really have that confidence and belief for what she is. As a custodian of the culture, that lady, in her name, they call her Akana Mulundo Marianta. Akana means go. Akana Murundo. That is go. It's like go with Libi Alem, go with Manu, go with
make a pathway to people. Whether you like it or not, I've just earlier told you, as a custodian of culture, that girl, what happened with Tita, it is not of normal reasoning. It was a force for us to have this hiding angel. That is just what happened with Tita. I think it is only now that Tita is realizing that, oh, truly, I would have dropped down my position. But what Tita did, it was not normal. Yes, Akana Murondo Marianta is a lady from her own family. She was born to lead.
Okay.
Yes, go and find out very well. Call the indigenous of Oroko people and ask them, what does this name really mean? They will repeat this my words, except they don't know the dialect. So there is no doubt. This girl was just born a leader. From name, I keep on repeating this. The name has been a pathway of her leadership, whereby even if she did not go to school, she would have lead. Going to school is just polishing what she was just made for.
All right. Thank you, sir. We hear you. Let's watch and see her lead then, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the call. All right, that was from Belgium. That was Belgium. Let us see who is next here. Ladies and gentlemen, the lines are open. Go ahead and try your phone call. I know lots of you are trying to call to no avail. Let's see where this next caller is calling from. Let's see. This is Alhaji himself. Hello, sir.
Yes, good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, Alhaji.
On the ABS.
Thank you. Can you lower the volume in your background? Lower the volume of the set in your background, please.
Okay, I do it. Yes, thank you. Thank the panel of ABS for the great job that you are doing for Ambazonia people.
Okay.
But let's go straight to what I want to tell you. My advice to the President of Federal Republic of Ambazonia is to talk straight to the generals and the field marshals in the ground, in ground zero, so that he may have an idea to work together with them and the GA people. That will help the struggle, and it will help our boys to have what they want, and he will have more information from them straightly. So now, because we need the firepower down now, that's what I will advise our president to do as what would help the struggle to go on.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I hope she's hearing you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, let's get, this is ground zero. I think this is the first ground zero. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, can you turn down the volume of the set in your background, please?
Yes, I've turned it down.
I can still hear an echo of it in the background, but go on, please.
How is it? I'm calling from ground zero.
Where on ground zero, sir?
Fako County.
Fako County, all right. And what is your contribution?
I just want to say that I'm so glad with the new president. And my advice is that, my proposals to her is that she should connect seriously with ground zero. And that you people in diaspora who have the power, the finances, you have to give her something serious so that she can deliver. You know that she cannot do anything without finances.
And you know that the treasury is in a funny way now. So people may be serious to donate a lot to give to her so that she put her at disposal so that she can deliver. She needs to be directly connected with the ground zero, see what she can do. Those that are falling apart, bring them together. Everybody should be on her hand. She has now the mantle, she has now the yam and the knife. So we need a lot of support from you people, right from ground zero.
Wonderful. Can you? Thank you.
Thank the Restoration Council, even though some people are spitting into the face of the Restoration Council, but they are doing a marvelous job. So I thank them so much.
Tell me, give me your perception of what Ground Zero thinks about the impeached president. Please don't try to please me. Just really give me your objective perception of what Ground Zero thinks about him.
What you must understand is that a lot of people sometimes are blind to see the reality. Even with all the evidences that are coming out, some people are still blind to see the reality of things. I don't think that with all what some of us are seeing, we can have anything positive about Sako. I can't have anything positive about him. It's a mess. In fact, I've had a little bit of touch myself, because when he was here, I belonged to the fake thing that he was leading, and I had to lose some money. Up to now, I cannot remember. I have friends who have also lost a lot of money. They tried to invest in the kind of thing that was falling up down.
What was that? What was that? Can you tell us what was that?
Well, we just know that he fumbled, so we are not happy with him. So that is it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Support our president. Support him. Support her with a lot of finances.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great night. Okay, that was Victoria. Let's get to, this must be the USA or Canada. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, sir. Are you calling from USA or Canada?
Yeah, Secretary Chris, I'm calling from New York, Secretary Chris.
Oh, New York. Okay, all right.
Yeah, Secretary Chris. Secretary Chris, we're so happy. We're so happy to hear about the new president that just came up, Secretary Chris. I don't know whether you can get me.
I can hear you 5 on 5.
Okay, Secretary Chris. I'm saying this is the second time I'm calling in your program, Secretary Chris. I remember the last time I called, and the last time I called, you guys, like you said, we should team up in our counties right up here in New York. And we've been trying to do that, but right now we kind of divided, because some people are like, now that we got a new leader, I think the new leader should come out and talk to us right now, Secretary Chris. Because
she would definitely do that. As if you listen to me, I said I think her priority number 1 should be reaching out to every county, because if we have to reach out to our fighters on ground zero, we have to pass through those counties to know where those fighters are. So I am 100% sure it will be a priority for her to reach out to every county out there.
Okay, Secretary Chris. So we are so grateful that we got a new leader right now, because we were kind of disappointed the last time because of what Tita did, but right now I think we have a glimpse of hope right now up here, and we are ready to work with her. I think she should also be ready to work with us right up here, Secretary Chris.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and she should be strong and maintain firepower, because right now what we really need on ground zero is firepower. We also what is happening right now in Ukraine and Russia. We saw what the Russians are doing to the Ukrainian, exactly what La Republic is doing to us.
Right.
So we just see how the president of Ukraine and all his government, they're standing strong and calling for everybody to fight back. So I think that's exactly what she should come up with, because right now we're ready up here. Whether it's gonna take how many years, whether it's gonna be how many billions, we're ready to fund it, Secretary Chris.
Because right now it's not gonna be like usual. What Dr. Sako did to us is not gonna happen anymore. And we are
All
promising
right.
her, we are promising her our full support up here.
All right.
If she's ready to work with us, we will be ready to work with her, and our support we're going to channel it straight to our counties as you told us, and then part of it is going to go straight to the interim government. So we're ready to do all that right up here, Secretary Chris.
All right.
So I don't know,
Great.
you got my contact, you got everything. So if you can contact me after this, and then we see how we can do our direct deposits, everything, our monthly contributions, so we can start immediately, Secretary Chris.
All right. Thank you, sir. You have a great night.
Okay, Secretary Chris.
All right. Good. Who is next? Let me get, I think this is a lady calling in. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. May I know where you are calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Dallas, Texas, Secretary Chris.
From Dallas, Texas, about four hours from me.
Yes.
Oh.
This is the famous Namanyi.
Oh, I get it. I have you serve with a different name, but go ahead. I want to call it. So,
yes.
What is in your mind, man?
Well, I'm just so happy for you, Secretary Chris. I just want to thank you for all what you've been doing. You pointed out the thief, and he was caught red-handed. I can't just thank you enough. And I thank God Almighty, because the Bible says he who doesn't have wisdom should ask. And I think God gave you the wisdom before you came into the world. And I just want to thank the panel also for a job well done. And my advice is that we are all happy with this new president. We are thrilled because she is young and she is vibrant. But what we should not forget to do is to pray for her, because the enemies are not sleeping.
Right.
You know, when God asked the devil, what have you been doing? The devil told the Lord, I have been going to and fro looking for someone to devour. Let's pray. We have to pray and cover this president that we've chosen, for God to give her the strength, for God to protect her, to cover her with the blood of the Lamb, that when the enemy sees her, they will not see her, but they will see the blood of the Lamb. That whatsoever she is doing, she will seek counsel from the Lord and from the RC, who are also the foundation of our country. Let's pray for her, our leaders, that they are not going to make her to chicken out like Dr. Tita did. Because I think if Dr. Tita was prayerful, he wouldn't have chicken out, because he would have stood still that, no, I have to serve my people. But he decided that, no, he wants to serve man instead of serving what we thought God chose him to do. So let's pray for our sister, our daughter. Let's pray that God will cover her, God will show her, and God will protect her, that no weapon formed against her shall prosper, that every person who comes to near her with wickedness, with an evil heart, back to sender, it will backfire to them, because
Amen.
That is what the Bible instructs us to pray, cast out demon, and to pray for people to be healed. And if this is a God-ordained struggle, we know that he is not going to let us down. We know that if the country prays and seek his face, he is going to show his face to us, and he is going to protect our president.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. This is all I just want to say, but I'm so happy for everything that is going on, that God showed us this thief. You guys don't know how much I have been fighting. Anywhere I go, they say Sakona thief man. I'll be like, no.
Yeah.
He's a pastor. I don't think he can be a thief. We have been supporting thieves.
Thank
you so much.
We were all deceived, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, they say you don't find the hard construction on the face, and I think Sako was a good example. Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get to Germany. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Calling from Germany. Am I correct?
You are very correct, sir. I'm calling from Germany. I want to greet the panelists, and I want to be very fast to give the opportunity for other people.
Yes.
I think your panelists there, they are very wonderful gentlemen. I have a lot of admiration for all of them. And my advice is that, or my appeal is that, when this our beautiful first lady, this our beautiful president-elect, Marianta, if she appoint any of them as one of the secretary, I want to appeal that they should accept it, because all of them, they have leadership skill. When I listen to them, I'm so motivated. I like the way they analyze things. So I'm appealing to them. If Marianta sees the way I see it and she appoint one of them, let them not refuse. Let them not chicken out like Mr. Tita chicken out, a man with no balls. And then my advice to our president-elect is, just like you people said, the contact with Ground Zero, which is very important. We know 4 months, for me, 4 months is very little. But if Sako could use this maybe 3 months to do what he never did in 4 years, so I think someone, President Marianta can do a lot of job. She can do also a little of diplomacy. We know the time is very short. She can also do a little of diplomacy. Even if she has to start in our own home country there, which is UK, that would also be good.
All right.
She's been doing a lot of things already.
All right.
Then lastly, let her encourage the youth.
Okay.
You know, with her figure, she will bring a lot of youth in. You know, the youth are usually the majority. The youth are the majority. So let her encourage the youth to come into the struggle and bring that confidence again, and we will donate money for our fighters. Thank you very much. God bless all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the call. Okay. See somebody writing here. Good. Okay, just a salutation there. All right. Let me get back to the. Okay, let me get to Comfort calling in from London. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Can you hear me?
I can hear you 5 on 5, ma'am. Good evening from London.
All right, thank you. Good evening to you all in the studio. I greet you, comrades, and dear honorable members of parliament of the RC and everybody in the studio. I'm very excited, and I'm not able to really speak well because my heart is so jolly. Thank you, guys. I want to use this opportunity to extend my heartfelt congratulations to my sister and friend who is now known as but the number one in the country called the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, Marianta. I just want to let Ambazonians know that Marianta is a mother, she is a wife, she's a science teacher, she's a dedicated woman to the struggle. She is a no-nonsense person. Can you hear me, please?
5 on 5, go on.
Oh, yes. I mean that our president-elect, she is a no-nonsense woman. She's bold and courageous. She's eloquent, and she is well-learned. So we have not made any mistake. Everything was planned by God according to, and it happens just as God had planned it. Any other thing that happened a few days ago was just distraction, and it was just paving the way for the right thing that has just taken place. Marianta has been one of the backbones of what we called the Southern Cameroon's Midlands Action Group. And they staged the first demonstrations here in the UK. She has led the struggle at regional and country levels. She has been the president of the Southern Cameroon's Community UK, Under Secretary of State for Education and Strategic Communications. Guys, I'm saying this so that we should know where we are coming from. She's not an accident. She's not a mistake. And of course, she is the backbone of the Unmask, which she has been working on for almost a year, which of course at some point we're going to make it really known to the world, which is going to expose the genocide in Ambazonia. She equally owns a charity called Friends of Southern Cameroon's Foundation, just to raise funds and support our refugees. I am saying this so that we should know that it's not only about calling and saying thank you and congratulations. Let us all rally behind our sister, our mother, our wife, our friend, and the courageous woman, and make it happen. She is capable of taking us home if we all rally behind him. Hip, 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 hooray. Thank you, panel. Thank you, all secretaries, for all you are doing.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the call. You have the presidency right there with you guys in London. I hope you take good care of it.
Oh, yes. Everything's been put in place. We've got already the security set aside. Everything is set aside. Madam President is in good hands. We can assure you 100%.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You remain safe and strong out there.
Thank you, Secretary Chris. Thank you, team.
All right. Okay. Let me see if it is possible to take one more call. I don't think we can. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn back to the panel here and have them share a word or two before we call it a night. Let me start with Dr. Atienjo. Sir, what are you looking forward to in the coming days as the new president is sworn in, I believe, this weekend?
Okay, thank you, Secretary Chris. Once more, we've had some very interesting callers today, and we can see that Amazonians are pumped up to see that the ball starts rolling. We've actually witnessed a period of stagnation for a few months now, and I believe that we who believe in our institutions have actually have prevailed at the end of the day. And I also want to thank the Restoration Council for their fastedness, for doing everything possible to work with the pressure that was mounted on them to come out with a good decision that would favor the Ambazonian struggle. So in the days ahead, I can't wait. Today is Friday. I think the president is going to be inaugurated tomorrow, and I look forward to that occasion to actually see the new president and a female, for that matter, lead Ambazonia. And in the weeks following, on the days after the installation, we look forward to seeing that a strong government is actually put in place to work collectively with the president to actually realize all the projects we have put before we've all enumerated here. First, working with the counties to actually galvanize that base to actually have people come in and so that we can collectively work for Ambazonia. And two, working with the ground zero to actually create that direct communication and also to assure our people on the ground that business is going on and is going to go on differently. The previous government actually impeded a lot of transactions, and everything was directed to the hands of a few or an individual. But today, a new sheriff is in town, and new things are going to happen for our revolution to go on. I know 4 months, I said it earlier here, just like Reverend Ginny echoed, it is, some people think it's short, but if she makes, strikes a powerful chord or something that has far-reaching impact, I think that Ambazonians are going to record her as one of the heroes in our revolution. So it's just a matter of priorities and how we work together. And also, lastly, I would like to tell Ambazonians that we all have to rally behind Marianta, and we need to make a judgment for ourselves. I know the president is going to be reaching out to many who are still on the fence or on the other side. Please use your conscience. We have given some analysis here. Would you prefer to deal with somebody who has sunk you to the depth of the ocean, or you will deal with somebody who is going to be transparent and show you how to use your money and you use it in the right way. If you think that we are going to do the old things, then this new government is not for that. We have all struggled all these days to actually make sure that things work, and this is what we have to present to Ambazonians: transparency, and somebody who is willing to deal directly and make sure that all our resources are focused on ground zero. That is what our intention is. And also to the refugees in ground one, I want to tell you that there is a new government that is coming up with a leadership that has put your interests as a priority. We want to go back home. We are not happy seeing you living in destitute conditions. We will do our best as a new government to bring a change to the people. So have confidence in our people, and then see how we can work or move forward. Thank you once more, and I also want to greet the panelists today. You are all beautiful people. I love you guys. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Mike?
Yes, Secretary Chris. To return the favor, I think it was an honor sharing this panel with Honorable Juni and Dr. Chenjo. I think we've worked together and we will continue to work together to improve our democracy in Ambazonia. I would like to, of course, again thank the Restoration Council for standing up to do what is right and to save our democracy from charlatans. At some point, it was assumed that you were slow, but it is good to know that you stepped up and you did the right thing. I hope you continue to do that. Yeah, let me just draw our attention to the significance of this election. This is now our third president after declaring our independence. If there's anyone out there now who still has any doubt as to whether Ambazonians are determined to make sure that we have a truly democratic country, take a look at what we have done so far. We are not playing when we say we want Ambazonia to be democratic, not just free, but democratic. We will do whatever it takes. If we have to change another president in 3 months, we will do it. We will follow our constitution. We'll make sure that our people are served well. Unfortunately, Dr. Sako managed to hide his tiger skin for too long, and we could not discover it on time. But now it caught up with him, and he's where he is now. So we are determined when we say we want a democratic Ambazonia, we mean it by every word. Now, how do we mean it? We mean it by saying that we will stop at nothing to hold our leaders accountable when they go wrong. Compare us with the Republic of Cameroon, where they have a sit-tight tyrant who has been there for almost 40 years. He can't walk. He can't hold anything. The other day I saw him trying to hold a trophy, and he couldn't even hold a trophy. He had to just touch it because he's so weak. And then compare them with us, a new democracy that is proving that we have what it takes to hold our leaders accountable. And that is what Ambazonia will be. You either serve the people or you're out. That is the way it's going to be. So I want Ambazonians to get it clear. When we say we want a country that will be free, democratic, prosperous, we mean every word of it. Now, let me just take you a step back to Dr. Sako, Secretary Chris, about his attire, the emperor attire. You know, the first time I saw him in that attire, in the emperor attire, I asked myself, who advised him to put on this thing? And even if somebody had advised him to put on this attire, didn't he realize it was wrong? How did he get about to being an emperor? He's not of a military background, for Christ's sake. What convinced him that it was the right thing to do to put on this attire? And then you find and then you it's so funny that I have to laugh, but it shows now it got into his head, and he started thinking that he ought to behave like someone in this attire. He doesn't even have a military background. Even Paul Biya, a non-tyrant, has never been able to put on such attire.
Yeah, Bia
So
has
I
never
don't know.
dressed in military fatigue
Yes,
of this
so I
nature,
don't
right?
know how Sako thought that coming from a
Gentlemen, he
civilian
was a security guard in a prison. He was a security guard in a prison. That is where
but
he
that
maybe he got that.
But
so
that
he got
doesn't
he
give him these ranks. That doesn't make
no,
him looking
it
like
does not
this.
give
Does a
him
security
I don't
guard
know
in a
what rank
prison
that
make
is.
you
It's
looking
a barrister,
like
whatever.
Idi Amin?
So so you can see how the people around Sako build him up to this dictator that he has become. And I started saying this way back, even in our APP meetings, that this thing about excellency, excellency, we ought to stop it. But some people will not stop it. They, oh, your excellency, this. And I said, let us stop this nonsense.
John Frunso was the one behind that. He calls it His Excellency the Commander in Chief. I
Yeah,
always said that
that's
he
very
lived in
poor.
La Republic for so long that when he left La Republic, he didn't live with it. He didn't leave anything behind there. He came over to the U.S. with everything, forgetting that even in the USA, the president of the United States will never be called His Excellency Joe Biden. You never hear that. You hear they say Mr. President. That's the way they call it.
Yeah. So, Secretary Chris, I just wanted us to go back and to see where our trouble started. We get the leaders we make. We make these people into what they are because we start falling down and kneeling. I call
Right.
it the Bipung Womb syndrome. You know Bipung Womb, who bowed down until his lips almost touched the floor because he wanted to greet Paul Biya. That's a Bipung Womb effect that some of our people have, that they have to adore and worship and really lie down on the floor to show
And
that
then
you
and
are
then motions of support began coming in.
motions of support will start pouring in. So this is what Ambazonia will not be. I can assure you that. That nonsense will be cut off. And then, of course, to end it, Chris, let me say this. I cannot overemphasize the need for us to tilt now that we have the leadership we have been wanting for so long. We will now tilt our attention to ground zero. We will redirect our attention to ground zero and focus our fire against La Republique du Cameroon. They are the ones that have violated our territorial integrity. We will go after them and we'll chase every one of them out. We will be in sync with our fighters. It's good. It was good to hear that you were in touch with No PT today. We will make sure that we are in touch with them, giving them what they need, advice, material, whatever, to make sure that we take our territory back from the occupier, the Republic of Cameroon. So it was. I think it has been a wonderful show. I enjoyed it very much, and we look forward to brighter days ahead with our new leadership and a new direction, a new purpose, a new vision for Ambazonia. Thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you, comrade. Let us get to the Honorable Njini out there for the last word.
Thank you again, Secretary Chris, for having me. I'm so delighted to be part of this great panel and of this special show where we're introducing the First Lady for Ambazonia in a time like this. I think she has been following through with the different calls that came from different ends of the world. All the multiple calls with the information, I think she should have been following them too. And I would advise that she can rewatch this show since it's online over and over to be able to assimilate them better. Now, the temptation hearing all those things could lead to fear, intimidation, and uncertainty to where she's going to because the stakes are high. All the information makes us to understand that all the Ambazonians at different ends of the world from ground zero, they have lifted their antennas with hope, with assurance, with the joy that we have a vibrant young lady taking up the baton the way forward. And I want to challenge her not to be afraid with the warnings of 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12, which reads here, don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for all in your speech, in your conduct, in your love, in your faith and purity. Now, the temptation when you hear the things, the compliment you have been putting forth for her, and the challenge laid upon her, the stakes of hope. Now, there are two sides. You can either be overzealous and then presumptuous, or be intimidated and scared. Now, so I want to challenge her to know, just be humble and trust God. He will lead you then to be an example in not only in word. I heard somebody say yesterday somewhere in a meeting and say we don't want people who bring us fanciful speeches like Dr. Sako has done, and he's taking us to nowhere. That is it. Now, the examples to follow in the Bible. I just mentioned Esther of old, who came forward and the message was given to her. You were ordained for a time like this, and if you seem not to understand your assignment and the essentiality of it, you may be shifted aside and go rest for another person. And before she came to the throne, there was another one who was called Vashti. She just was naughty, just a little mistake of foolishness. She lost her position, and Esther took up. And then we have vivid examples of many kind like that in the Bible. King Saul became an outstanding king, and became foolish and distracted, become presumptuous. That's the kind of thing that happened with Dr. Sako. And God raised up another person, and he took over. He was still functioning there, but he had no power. And of his sudden, he died. He made that off out of the seat, because when God is in charge, no matter how a man can try to force up his ways, he cannot go far. Now, there's the last example which I want her to pick. As you read through the books of Kings, you'll hear about King Solomon, who was a vivid king, endorse with wisdom, and leave impact in the life of the nation of Israel. But when he died, the Bible says his young son took over, who was called Rehoboam or Jeroboam, and then he took up and became foolish. He decided not to hear the advice of the elders, and would follow the advice of young men, and it downplayed on him, and he drowned. He died to the walls very soon. And when you read the story, it's a very sad story, that the son of a well-successful, wisest man of all generations, rich, everything was available for him. He needed just the leadership and the mentor of the elders, but he waved it off and listened to his pair, to his young friends, and they deceived him, and that was his downfall, and it ended woefully. So it's a challenge that she has all that it takes to be able to cope up amid the stakes of Ambazonia. And by the grace of God, we are praying that she will be an example, and the Lord will lead her through. And when we come back sometime on this kind of panel, we'll be celebrating the testimonies of the victories, harnessed 2 or 4 months, which will live through with legacy for the rest of Ambazonia's life and history. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. It was such a great pleasure to have all of you. I'm wishing all of you a good night, and I look forward to seeing you sometime next week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for tonight. But before I go, I just want you to take a moment, 1 minute, and look at this. Before I go, I will be right back after this, but please take a look. Now, what you are looking there, you see about a 2 years or 3 years old boy trying to carry all single-handedly, carry that log of wood. He's taking it to the house, and you see the effort he puts in there, ladies and gentlemen. It gets heavy, it gets difficult. He drops it down, picks it again, and keeps on moving. Look at it. Look at him. Not giving up, even when he knows that thing is really, really heavy. Really, really heavy. He keeps going, ladies and gentlemen. He keeps going. Look at that. And look at the distance he covered. Now he drops it there, climb on top, and get over to the other side, and he continues until he makes sure he gets home. Look at that. All the endurance, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is called endurance, true endurance, and we all can learn. We all in this journey for a free and independent Ambazonia, we can learn from this 3 year or 2 years old, 3 or 4 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, look at it. He gets frustrated there. He collapses right there. Now, the wood is not yet in the house. He gets right up back and jumps over to the other side. He must get it in. He must get it in. He is not done yet until he's gotten to his destination. Look at him. He uses all techniques that you can imagine to get that log of wood over and above. Let's watch. Look at his sweating. If that wood is not where it should be, he is not giving up. There you go. Wonderful. Wonderful. And right where it should be. And he's made it. Oh my, you can see. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what I think we should learn from that little boy, the perseverance, the endurance, not giving up even where he gets to face all those difficulties, climbing with that log of wood right into that house. What we have encountered in the last 4 months in this struggle is exactly what we have just seen here on this screen with this little boy. One thing we should be determined about is no matter what, the ups and downs, we must not give up endurance, perseverance until we've gotten to Boya. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. It was a great pleasure to be with you. I look forward to being back here, possibly maybe tomorrow if we are able to broadcast live the inauguration ceremony for Iya Marianta. We'll call her Madam President. Ladies and gentlemen, if that happens, okay, I will be here tomorrow. If that is not a possibility, then you definitely will have me back here on Sunday. Again, it was a great pleasure being with you tonight. Thank you very much. God bless you all. See you again very, very soon.
elonga bana zambe bakutatola elonga elonga na Yesu. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh yes God. Nazira kilasi na mosala na nakolibala mama na ngaye.
Tukosenga lelo
solo tuku